before you eat the next plate of stew outside. Make sure you know how it was made. Mama Gold is called the best cook in Lagos, an uncrowned record breaker. But no one cares how she cooks until one woman decides to check. What she sees destroys everything. The afternoon sun sits over a busy Lagos street. People stand still as if promised huge sum of money. A long line stretches toward a shop where red stew bubbles, releasing a rich aroma. The oil glows like liquid gold. Mama Gold tastes it, closing her eyes in bliss. Add more meat, someone shouts. Our food changes lives. They just didn't say how. Mercy loves control over her time and image. To her, success means she does not suffer in the kitchen. Every morning, she steps out in sharp heels and flawless makeup. Every evening, she stops at Mama Gold's poker. She rolls down her car window, places her order, and drives off with neatly packed containers. Dinner is served without stress, sweat, or the smell of onions. At home, dinner is predictably perfect. The moment the containers open, the aroma fills the house. Osaibovo digs in immediately, eating fast as if the food might disappear. This woman understands food, he says in disbelief. Even young Osaze has changed, pushing aside school meals to wait for this evening ritual. Mercy watches them, satisfied that everything in her world is working perfectly. Days turn into weeks and something shifts. Osaze, once full of restless energy, moves slower. He no longer runs to the door when his father returns. One morning, he presses his small hand against his stomach and whispers that it feels heavy. Mercy, distracted by her phone, tells him he's fine and just needs good food. She buys extra meat, convinced she is solving the problem. That night, silence breaks. Mercy wakes to unsteady footsteps, rushing across the floor. The bathroom door slams, followed by a low, painful groan. Osaibovo, Osaibovo, she calls out, more annoyed than concerned. When he finally speaks, his voice is weak and strained. My stomach, oh, my stomach. Something is wrong. Mercy frowns, asking what he ate. He answers softly, nothing, only the stew. A cold feeling passes through her. The next afternoon, Ame stops by with homemade soup. Her expression shifts instantly as she breathes in. Mercy, what's that smell? She asks. Mercy laughs it off defensively, but Ame scans the takeaway containers. You still buy food from that woman? Ame asks quietly. She mentions that people in the market are talking. Not everything that tastes good is safe, Ame warns. Mercy remains silent but uneasy. The market is chaotic, but certain conversations traveled differently. While picking tomatoes, Mercy hears women whispering about Mama Gold. She never removes that sweater, even in this heat. One says, another voice lowers, suggesting there is something under her arm that she uses in the food. Mercy freezes, her fingers tightening. She walks away quickly, her mind replaying the image of that sweater. Sleep does not come easily as Mercy replays Osaze's voice, Osaibovo's pain, and the market whispers. By morning, her mind is made up. She will not ask questions. She will see for herself. That evening, instead of stopping at the front, she drives past the crowd to the back where no customers go. The air feels heavy. She steps out of her car, feeling unsure for the first time. The alley is unnaturally quiet, filled with hum of flies. Mercy takes a step forward and immediately regrets it. A sharp, rotten smell hits her. Her heels sink into damp ground as she moves toward a metal door. This is not the place customers imagine. She wants to leave, but she sees Osaze's face in her mind and pushes the door open. Darkness greets her first. then movement. As her eyes adjust, she realizes this is not a kitchen. The walls are stained with smoke and neglect. The floor is wet and filthy, with piles of plates surrounded by buzzing flies. A giant rat moves in the corner. Mercy steps back, her breath catching. The scene does not match the perfect taste of the stew. Then she hears bubbling. She follows the sound, each step slower than the last. She sees Mama Gold standing over the pot as if everything is normal. The stew looks rich, red, and glowing. Mercy leans in, trying to understand the secret. That's when she notices Mama's Gold's sleeve is wet and darker than it should be. Mama Gold pauses, then slowly pulls it back. Mercy's body goes still. Time stretches and Mercy forgets to breathe. Mama Gold dips a spoon into the pot, stirring slowly and almost lovingly. Then she does something small. She adjusts her hand and a drop falls straight into the bubbling stew. Mercy's stomach tightens violently. Mercy's eyes struggle to accept the truth. Mama Gold reaches for a dark, damp cloth, wipes her skin, and squeezes it carelessly over the stew. Tiny drops fall, disappearing into the rich red surface. She then dips the same ladle into the pot, tastes it, and nods in approval. Mercy's stomach twists. This is contamination dressed as flavor. Every delicious memory she had suddenly becomes something unclean and rotten. A tray of meat is dropped nearby. Mercy's eyes shift toward it, hoping for something normal. Instead, the meat looks discolored and lifeless, covered in flies. Mama Gold does not clean it. The stew will handle it, she mutters. Mercy stumbles backward, her breathing sharp. The addiction was covering something foul. She turns and runs, feeling that staying is dangerous. The drive home feels longer than ever. Mercy's hands grip the wheel tightly as her mind races. When she reaches home, she rushes inside to find Osaibovo already seated with an open container. The smell fills the room. As he lifts his spoon, the container flies from his hand, crashing and spilling red across the tiles. Osaibovo stands up confused. "What's wrong with you?" Mercy shakes and replies, "That's not food." Her voice breaks as the words came out fast. She describes the kitchen, the smell, and the drops from the ham. Osaibovo initially laughs defensively, but when he looks down at the floor, something in the spilled stew catches his eye. A very thin, out-of-place strand. He freezes and his face changes without a word. He rushes to the bathroom. Osaze appears, looking weak. Mercy pulls him close and whispers, "Never again." The hospital lights are too bright. Mercy sits between two beds, one for her husband and one for her son. A doctor explained that this is severe food contamination. He pauses, noting that if this had continued, the damage could have been permanent. Mercy nods slowly, replaying every meal in her head. She thought she was saving time. She did not realize she was gambling with the lives of her family. 3 days pass slowly. Mercy ignores her office calls and watches for signs of recovery. Osaze finally opens his eyes and Osaibovo sits up without pain. Relief comes, but it is heavy with responsibility. Mercy looks at her polished nails and wonders what they actually protected. That night, she makes a silent promise. She finally understands the true cost of her convenience. Some responsibilities simply cannot be outsourced to others. The house feels exposed when they return. Mercy walks into her untouched kitchen and observes it for the first time. She picks up scissors and cuts her long nails, clean, simple, and practical. She removes her jewelry and expensive fabrics. Then she begins to work. Water runs and surfaces are scrubbed. It's not a rushed task, it's intentional. The kitchen is no longer a burden, it has become a priority. Fresh, simple ingredients sit neatly on the counter. Mercy moves carefully, taking her time to learn the process. It is slower than what she's used to, but it feels grounded. When the pot begins to simmer, the aroma is soft and real. She serves the meal quietly, watching Osaibo and Osaze take their first bites. Osaze smiles and says it smells like home. Mercy finally feels that it's enough. News spread fast as others fall sick and connect the dots. Health officials arrive and the shop is shut down with a warning sign. People pass by the sealed door slowly, avoiding eye contact with the place they once crowded. The same voices that praise Mama Gold now speak in tones of regret. Mercy hears the update but does not react. Her focus has shifted to what she allows into her home. Mornings begin earlier now, but they do not feel heavy. Mercy moves with reading, preparing meals, and organizing the day. Osaibovo joins her sometimes to chop and stir. Osaze watches closely, asking questions. There is laughter now, small moments of shared effort that build strength. The house smells lived in and cared for. Without any announcement, the home feels whole again. The kitchen has become the heart of the house. At work, Mercy no longer chases convenience. She brings her own meals and speaks with a new certainty. One afternoon, a colleague tastes her food and asks where she got it. Mercy smiles, calm and serene, and replies, "I made it." The response is simple but heavy with meaning. She no longer sees the kitchen as beneath her. Her confidence comes from knowing the truth, not just maintaining an appearance. A new neighbor stops Mercy by the gate to talk about a woman nearby selling amazing cheap food. Mercy pauses, remembering her own journey. She steps closer and says quietly, "My sister, some things are cheap for a reason." The neighbor laughs, unconvinced. Mercy does not argue, but she simply adds, "Just make sure you know what you are eating." Some lessons must be lived to be believed. The kitchen is warm and alive. Mercy stands beside Osaze, guiding his small hands as he stares. "Not too fast," she says softly. He nods, focused. Osaibovo watches with a quiet smile. Not everything that shines is safe. No one will care for your home the way you do. The real magic is in the hands that prepared the food. Convenience is easy to buy, but consequences are not. When you don't know what goes into your food, you trust your life to a stranger. A clean kitchen is about protection and love. The people you are too busy to cook for are the people you cannot afford to lose.